Good morning. So it is Monday, March 30th, and I am about to make my coffee and my husband tea. We drink both, but he sometimes in the morning craves tea for the mornings. I, I typically do like to do my coffee in the morning and then a tea or something in the afternoon. Sometimes if I just remember and get myself to do it. I always want it, but I never. It's mostly distracted. I get distracted with something inevitably. So, um, I do have a few things I need to get done today regarding the move in life, but I have had this urge over the last 2 days to touch all my whips. I don't know if y'all go through this. Please let me know if I'm not the only one. And by touch my whips, I don't mean just touch my whips. I want to work on all of them. And this happens about once a quarter. And most of the time, I let myself, if I'm able to, time wise. So I'll go and pull up all my whips and I'll knit a row, crochet around or a thing, or I'll stitch a few threads in a project. And most of the time, I'm able to do that. And I really like doing that, I think, because it helps me, one, remember my whips, kind of check my tension on things too, especially for some of my knits, because tension does change over time, and decide if I want to keep working on said project or if I want to frog it. I almost said DNF it. It applies in knitting too, and the crafty things. It's not just for books. Um, it's just a matter of if you unravel it or not, I guess. um, what else? So I think I want to do that, and I think I have all my whips here. I don't think I took any to Colorado, but there may be some packed away somewhere that won't be easy access. So I figured there's a lot of projects y'all haven't seen yet, and I'm not calling this a whip parade, but I figured if I actually get around to this today, if you're seeing this, that means I did. I want to take y'all along, and y'all can see what I've been working on. What else? Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually really excited this week because it is Easter week for those that celebrate. It's the beginning of spring. Well, that's my cat. That's wonderful. Thank you, Brooke. Okay, before the cat rudely interrupted us, um, we do have some nice plans this week with family. So my brother and sister-in-law, well, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are coming into town or in town, but we'll get to see them this week. They moved to the East Coast last year, and I haven't seen them since they moved. My husband has; he's been able to go and see them, but I've not. And I'm excited to do that, to see them. And then I have some other things going on this weekend, which I will share later because internet privacy. And the other thing is hopefully on Sunday, I'm going to take the kids to see my parents. So I don't think they have any plans on Easter Sunday, but yeah. Okay. I think I want to start with some stitching since I have some nice daylight. Um, This is, I'll show you the project bag. I made this project bag off of the tutorial from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I think all of my stitchy bags are off of that tutorial. I've made 4 like this. So if you saw my episode talking about my English paper piecing, a lot of my fabrics are from this set from my project bags. I just love the white with the gray silver pattern, and at the time Joann's had like three or 4, and I think I tried to get all of the ones because they all, I thought, coordinated really well. And then I have my 4th one is a Christmas one that has snowflakes like this, but they're snowflakes, and with the red zipper and liner. But I'll show you those as I come in. So this is the inside. This is, I don't remember, it may just have been a Joann's fabric. or maybe even from MX Domestic. I don't remember. But anyways, coordinating zipper that matches the inside outside. And so in here, I have The Haunted Library by Lola Crow Stitch. And these are the threads. So I use floss drops from a somewhat local. She's from Texas. I bought them on Etsy. I don't remember the company name or her shop name, but I'll be sure to include it. I've bought a number of floss drops from her acrylic, and these are Halloween-y type themed. So, spider webs, like a holographic fall leaves. And there's one more in here. I think I have 3 sets in here, and then another spider web. That's a purple spider web, kind of hard to tell. And then I have them all labeled with little stickers. You could also use a Sharpie and then wipe it off with alcohol. But for this pattern, I just use DMC, and then I have those binder rings I like, but I really like these a lot better. I got these from Stitched Modern, I believe, and I got like a pack. And what I like about them is this is actually 2 rings put together. And so I needed a little more room, and I just added on another ring to make it bigger, which is kind of neat. I have found the binder rings a couple times just because I'm not rough with my stuff at all, I don't think. But every now and then things kind of come loose, and I had a couple come loose and everything kind of fell out. So this is going to be kind of hard for it to come undone. So anyways, I love petting the floss. Beautiful color palette, very moody. I'm sure most of you that are in the cross-stitching community have seen this pattern, but it's absolutely stunning what she does with what I would say such few colors with such a big pattern. But I'll put a picture of the pattern because I don't have a photo, and obviously I'm not going to show the chart, but I just put it in the hoop, and oh, I'm so sorry. And here she is. So this, I don't know if I have a start date on this. If I do, I'll put it up. But I think I used the called for fabric, and I am using 36 count, I believe, and I'm attempting to put 2 of her patterns on 1 piece of fabric, although I will separate them. Again, I wasn't very prepared to talk about it. Apologies. I promise when I do a proper whip parade, I will have all the details. But if you have any questions, of course, put it in the comments. I don't get very many right now, so I can stay on top of it pretty easily. I would be more than happy to look up that information for you if you're interested. But this hoop is it's one of those rubbery plastic hoops. It actually holds the tension pretty well, and it's just easy for me to pop on and off right now, just with everything going on. I typically like to use just a regular wooden hoop. I have a set of the plastic hoops. It was a cheap set, I believe, from Michael's. And I don't like the extra marking it has for that tighter gauge, or not gauge, the tighter drum, basically. It is really good about keeping it, but it leaves a really hard line for me that I'm not confident that I can get out as well. And this is just good enough. Like, I don't stitch for long periods of time, and because this is so easy to take in and out, it's fine. And every now and then, if I do stitch for quite a while, I just tighten it up. And I just have these sewing clips to hold the fabric, and the table. It's not really a lap stand. I mean, I guess you could, but I put it on my desk or table. I got this right before, I ordered this right before the Ukraine war started. And I got this from Patoki. And so I was not the least bit concerned about getting it after started, because that's where I believe these come from, and kept in touch with them for a while. Just, I was mostly concerned if they were okay, and they were fine. Of course, upset with everything, but This is a beautiful, beautiful piece. And they've come out with some newer ones since then. And mine can actually hold, I believe, a Q snap. I used to use Q snaps, but it was more trouble than it was worth for me for, I don't want to say how little I stitch, but again, all relative. Um, Hoop and scroll frame are just easier for me. Anyways, but if I ever want to use a Q-snap or want to sell this, I believe a Q-snap would work. And I love how easy it would be to travel. It is a little bit on the heavier side, but it's a solid, beautiful piece. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and maybe try and get a couple threads in here and let's see where we go from there. And then I do have a beautiful needle minder. It was made from clay. There was two that I've bought from, one from overseas many years ago and another one I think in the States. If I remember who it is, I'll put it here. If you're curious, if I don't and you're curious who it is, again, leave a comment and I'd be more than happy to look at it. But she's so cool with the skull and the flowers. Anyways, I'm really excited about this haunted library. It's just, I can't get over the detail and it's not even all there yet. The back stitching isn't there, but even like the books, those were fun to stitch. I can't tell you how many times for some reason I had to redo and undo that. I don't know why. But yeah, so let's see how far I get. Okay, so I just noticed a little mess up. Yeah, I'll show you. So I just did this and then I was about to, I kind of park it. So how I do is if I know there's another color close by, instead of doing all this counting, I park it in the area where I think it's going to be. And then I was just rechecking, lining things up, and I was like, oh, that doesn't line up. And I look at the white here. So all of this I have to undo up to here. I accidentally went over half a stitch. And so all this is off. It may be just that. I'm going to double check. If it's just that, then I just need to readjust this and leave this alone because there's nothing next to it. And I just need to make a mental note and make sure this is in the right spot. Yeah, sorry for the big hand in the shot. Anyways, so I'm going to fix that. Okay, so a lot of stuff has come up for the day. Title company, they had my name wrong, which is a norm for me. So didn't get much progress, but I did, since I triple checked and the issue was in the white part and there's nothing around the white part to offset any more issues, I just undid this section here that I did and fixed it. And now we're good. So all I did was this right here. And then I'm going to be sure to make a little note in my bag and to remember the white lightning or spider webby thing is off and not to count from it. So that'll be it for this piece. I do want to keep working on it, but I want to kind of work on, I want to do what I said, like work through my other stuff. So every time, oh, I forgot to run the thread on the back. I got so excited to give you all an update. Let me do that real quick. Put that in there. I do use, by the way, I didn't mention this. Hopefully this won't make too much noise. The camera too much. I do use Markup XP. I did start with the, that's a flash of the pattern. I did start with the printed pattern and then I changed my mind and used up Markup XP. But I have this as backup saved just in case. I haven't marked it off where I am in a while. I can figure that out pretty easily if I ever get to that backup point. I'm not going to put the hoop in yet because I think I'm going to go ahead and get the other one out and show you all that in a minute. That's it. So Stitchy Project 1, got a couple threads in, fixed a problem, and I don't know when I'll see her next. We'll see. Okay, Stitchy Project 2. another me-made bag. Again, tutorial by Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So you can see the gray silver shiny dots. I did add a little charm thing. And then here's the inside. A teal color. Now me and my royal colors. What's it called? I guess they are kind of royal. Moody. Oh, come to me. This one I tried to put in Markup XP, and I ran into so many problems because I bought the printed pattern. So I tried scanning it, putting it, too many problems. So I am using the printed version. So all I have in here is the Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews, I believe. And I might have shown this. It's on a 40 count. This is how far I am. I believe it's the called for fabric. Again, didn't really prepare, so I don't really know. But if you really want to know, let me know and I'll look it up. But I'm pretty sure it's what's called for. But that 40 count is gorgeous. I'm using, I don't know if it was the called for threads or I believe it was, but I ordered them through Etsy. I don't remember the shop. Again, you want to know, just ask. I'll look for it. I have no problem. And maybe some of y'all may recognize how this was done, but there's a shop on Etsy that she'll give you the amount that you need. So you don't have to buy whole skeins. And I'm assuming a little extra wiggle room too. So this was really great. And I just left it on the floss drops that they came with. I did add the symbol as I'm using it. I added in. I don't have it on all of them, I don't think. Maybe I do. I didn't think I did. I guess I do. Oh no, I was right. Okay, so I'm missing a couple. Anyways, threads are absolutely divine. I am doing it 1/2, which for me is a little gapey. I like it much more full, but for the look of this pattern, like you can especially tell in the black, maybe you see a little bit of the fabric coming through. In person, you can definitely see it, so maybe not through the camera as much. But I maybe on the smaller butterfly. Yeah, you can see a little more on the smaller butterfly. Because of the design of the pattern or the intended design, I think it fits. I think it fits how it's supposed to. So it's 1/2 on 40 count. And this is for my best friend, and it's to commemorate the purchase of her first home. So she bought the home all on her own, and I thought it was a great way to celebrate. She loves butterflies. She loves the color blue, and her home decor is very much like modern farmhouse. And I think the butterfly cloche, I'll put a picture, fits the aesthetic beautifully. And I'm going to change the numbers on the bottom to her house number. I did send a message to um, Liz Matthews. I'm pretty sure she's the designer, asking her if she had a pattern that I didn't know about. I looked with numbers that I could switch out, and she never responded and never followed up, to be fair. But I may try again. I think other people have changed the numbers. I even looked at other patterns to see if she had similar numbers. I may just have to try it on my own. But if you're familiar with those numbers in the butterfly cloche, if she uses it in another pattern or something like that, let me know. Of course, I want to pay for it, but I just may have to do it on my own, which is fine. I want to do the house number, what her house is right now. So she probably won't live there. Knowing her, she loves to move around and explore and have adventure. So I don't think it'll be like forever that she'll be in there. But I think if anything, it's a great way to commemorate the purchase of her first home. And I just have like an organza bag holding the threads. So I don't know why I'm putting it away. I'm actually going to try and get some stitches in here. What am I doing? I guess I just got really excited talking to you about it. Okay. All right. I'm going to see how far I get and I'll give you an update. Again, probably just a thread or two. Just didn't need to touch all the whips. So see you soon. Okay, quick update here is I did this neutral color. I did like all this right here. That's about it. You can kind of see here where I started actually the pattern here and I had to frog it. And I think I moved over and started somewhere else, but made a tiny bit of progress and I'm gonna put her away. Okay, hopefully you don't hear the mowers because they just got here, but I'll make this quick just in case. So as far as cross stitching goes, all I have is one more whip and it is perforated paper one. So I'll show that in a moment. I have it in this bag. But while I was here, I thought I'd show my third Made Me bag. So it's this triangle tree pattern-ish. Got a little dirt on there. And this one's in purple. So I love these bags. These are great. Great, great, great bags. Nothing bad to say. I'm definitely not a great sewist, so there's lots of quirkiness in here, and that's okay, but I love it. But you can see I like things that coordinate, that all look the same but a little different. So I don't really purchase a lot of project bags, especially for stitching. One, I don't have a lot of stitching whips as of now, but maybe as I get more, I'll make some more. But again, I just have a thing about crossovers in the crafty making world, you know, actually sewing a project bag for your stitching, that kind of thing. It's just really cool to have something you made and something you're making inside of it. So I think this is all I'm going to get done today as far as scratching that itch to work on my whips. So it's kind of fair in the sense that I got at least all of my cross stitch one. I'll work on this a little later, but I probably won't get a chance to record it. So I'll just go ahead and show it now. I was working on this in Colorado. Sorry for all the text messages. I'll try and fade that out in the audio if I can, but my son just got his driver's license in the mail and everyone's sending congratulations. So this is the squirrel from the Mill Hill kit right here. Hopefully not too much of a glare, but I'm almost done. I think one of the things that kind of slowed me down was I don't know how I'm going to finish it. And I may just wait to finish it till I get there in Colorado, because I'll know all my stuff. I'm actually going to have to start packing up some of the stuff in the drawers for the movers, because it's just all a bunch of little things. I think I need to get all of my empty project bags and just use those bags to fill up all of my little trinkets and stuff and notions. If anyone has any tips about packing that, let me know. Like, how do y'all pack little things? All of these drawers behind me, it's just little stuff, and a lot of them are in jars or in little things, and to corral them. But if I were to throw it in a box, they'd be jumping around everywhere. So as of now, my only idea is to put them in like mostly my knitting project bags and stuff like that. So anyways, okay, so that's all I have in cross stitching. I don't know if I have anything in embroidery at the moment, but if I run into that, I'll definitely share. But like I said, I'm not going to work on, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Let me mute my phone. That might help. Okay, so anyways, that's that. I'm not going to work on it today, but it is in a bag, in a little pouch my sister got me for Christmas. She knows I love these colors. I think it's a Vera Bradley. I do have a ball of yarn in here. Oh, that's from another whip. And maybe I'll get to that one today. Anyways, so I have all the threads and beads and little snips in here for taking that to Denver. Okay, let's see what else I can get done. All right, so I found 2 small knitting whips, and one of them is, my mom asked me to make her a December bow from Petite Knit. I got the main body done. I just need to do the center part and assemble it essentially, and of course put in the ends. So maybe I could finish, this could turn into a finish today. So I got that. The other small one I have is, in a previous episode, if you've been following me for a little while, I did a Sophie scarf. I almost said hood because I've done 3 hoods now. And this is one that I left out by accident, and Breck got into it and the needles fell off. So I need to figure out where I am. And this could also potentially be a finish today. That's actually kind of exciting. So I think I'm going to try and work on this first, figure out where I am, and see if I can finish it. And I'll come back and give you a quick update. And I know I have a knitting blanket. I'm not going to work on that because I'll show it to you later. But again, it was on a previous episode in case you haven't seen it. It is the Sweet Shop blanket, Sweet Shop Sugar Blanket by Laura Penrose. And it's just at a great point. It's like a nice, almost even square. And to go and add a little square on it would be, I don't know, sacrilegious right now. It would just look really off for a while because I know I won't be able to touch it for a while, especially with the weather getting warmer and having it is, you know, a knit as you go, work on it as you go. So it's having that big blanket sit on me may make me a little warm, but who knows? Sometimes I get a wild hair. That one may be a till we move project, but we'll see. And I do have 2 sweaters. I call them my Christmas sweaters. So almost every year I start a sweater around Christmas time. And usually I have a lot of memories tied to those sweaters. They do take me a while, but when I get them out, I will talk more about them. And I think that is all my knitting whips. So I'm pretty good, again, all relative, but I think I'm pretty good on the whip side, not having too much on the needles or hooks or stretcher bars, I guess, depending what you're working on. But yeah, let me see what I can crank out on this. I had a few interruptions, but now I have a finish. And I know exactly who I'm going to give this to, and I'm going to see her. I should be seeing her this week. So I'm going to wash and block it. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or another day, and I actually think I got it pretty even this time compared to my hoods. I felt like I was always a repeat off or something like that, but in the end, it really doesn't matter. But it's so soft and so nice. And good thing with Breck was that I thought he tore into close to the end of the yarn, but no, he tore into like more of the middle. So I'm going to wind this up and see how much I have left. And yeah, I have a few pieces here for Breck. This one I don't think is salvageable because it has a lot of cat spit in it. This might be. So, all right, I got to get some things done, and gonna look at seeing if I can make the little tab for the December bow. It's like a petite knit finish off, and it turns out one of my sweaters is also petite knit. But yeah, so I think my mom will like this one. She got it yarn. I don't know if I have the label, but I know it's like a sock yarn, but it has the stellina in it, a multicolor stellina. She got it when she went to go visit some family in Chile. She got some great travel time there and prima time, cousin time with her cousins in Chile. And yeah, so she brought back this yarn and asked me to make her a December bow after she saw the one I made for my cousin in Brownsville. So let's see if I can get this done too, and a few projects around the house done, and see if I can get those make it like a knitting whip day. And then maybe if there's anything left, maybe tomorrow I show you those. We'll see. Okay. this is gonna have to be put on hold. After some searching, I can't find the yarn. If I find it, I'll work on it, but right now I can't find it. I think it ended up already packed up and is in Denver, possibly, because I can't find it. I do have it somewhere. Inevitably, it will show up. So right now, I'm just going to put this aside and find my sweaters. I have to find those. This hole in between is kind of already, it's okay. Just 2 more months. 2 more months. It's already flying by. The fact that tomorrow is April, crazy, crazy, crazy. So, and it's like, I feel like I know it's here, but that's okay. Moving on. Found a sweater. This is the petite knit no frill sweater. I am making it oversized and wanting it to fit like a sweatshirt. I was wanting like a sweatshirt sweater. You can see it's quite long. I don't have the yarn tags in here. It may be in another bag or somewhere, but when I figure out what it is, I will update it maybe on the next one, or if I find it before I edit this one, I'll be sure to post it. But it is this beautiful green, oh, it's showing up pretty accurate there, tweed yarn. It's my first time knitting with tweed, at least for a garment, I think. I think I've done hats, but for a garment. And I've just always wanted a tweedy sweater, and eventually I'd like a tweedy cardigan. I think I'm at the point where I need to try it on. I need to get it off the needles. Unfortunately, what I attempted, and it would have the cable would have just fallen off. So I need to try it on, or let me just do a stand-up try on. Let's see. I may want to do a couple more rows. I have a feeling it's going to stretch some. Well, actually, there's ribbing. There is going to be some ribbing. So considering I would like it to go like, I like it kind of quarter of the bum. Kind of want it to be long. So I think I'm going to do a few more rows and then do the ribbing. That all won't happen today, but. And then I just have sleeves and I'm done. So this was my Christmas 2023 or 4 sweater. I love it. Why is it taking me so long? And now it's going to be done in the summer. Maybe, who knows? Sleeves can go by fast, but sometimes not. So I'm going to get a few rows in that and we'll report back. I should find the yarn and get it all together, but I do have the pattern, and I wish I didn't. I need to take better notes. I do have this journal I want to make, of course, again, crossover for my knitting patterns, and I need to get that done so I can start being better about documenting this stuff every time. So I figured I'll show you how I do how I print my patterns. Is I do the 2, do it far away so you can't read it, but 2 per page. And sometimes even looks like I do back to front. Yeah. So here I could show you the front. So there, the petite knit. And luckily she does mark her page numbers. Sometimes pattern designers don't mark their page numbers, and I have to remember and go and mark it because it can be kind of confusing. You know, knitting patterns look like a different language. So I need to keep things in order. But that's how I print my patterns, and then I have a little binder clip, and sometimes I'll do it in half or kind of mark where I'm at with it. But not the best system. The printout I like, and I think it would fit nicely in the journal to where I can make the pattern like temporarily kind of fit there, maybe with the binder clip or a clip of some sort. And then when I'm done, I can just like keep the front page or something of the pattern to help me realize what size I did, details and things like that. So I'm going to figure out where I'm at. I need to find the yarn because this is all I have. I know I have more. maybe back there. Oh, I do. That's right. I have one left back here. I do have some more Tweety yarn here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, a little bit you can see. Of course, oh, Woolberry. So I think Woolberry pretty much closed up shop. But it's from Woolberry, and it is called Nook. I love that, kind of like a little library nook or some sort of nook where you can read. And it is a berry tweed DK, 85% superwash merino and 15% NAP. I'm assuming that's some sort of nylon. And 231 yards, 100 grams. So I'll leave that there just in case if anyone wants to look that up. Again, Woolberry, I think, pretty much shut their doors. I was very, very tempted when I got their emails where you could pre-order some of the yarn before they closed up shop, or maybe it was before they announced, and it was so tempting. I love, love, love their yarn, but I just did not have the funds for it. So, yay, maybe I probably should wind it because this won't be enough. I want to try and wind all the yarn that I need over the next 2 months. So that I'm not having to hand wind any yarn. I want to make sure I don't have this. I think this is it, which is plenty for sleeves and ribbing. Yeah. Okay. Check you later. I think this is going to be my last check-in for today. This is my 2024 Christmas sweater. It is, I did not realize I had so many petite knit patterns. I went from like 0 to 100 with petite knit, and that was not intentional, very much accident. I usually really diversify my designers, so don't know how that happened. But it is the anchor sweater. I think it had to do with the fact that it was this yarn I wanted to use, and I looked up what was the best yarn for the pattern. This is from Julia Slin, Les Eaux Decay, 90% superwash merino, 10% silk. And it is in the color Romance. Oh, there you go. See it? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. So this is, I think I pretty much got, I finished the yoke and now I'm in the body. I think I was about to separate for sleeves. I don't even have my needles on here. I don't even know if I wrote down what needles I used, so I'm guessing that's terrible. That's really bad. I'm guessing I'm using the called for. As it turns out, my mom is knitting the same sweater, and she needs a bit of help. So this will actually work out nice for me to get back to this sweater so I can better help her on hers. Yeah, I see the sleeve markers. I bet that's where I left off. So I need to find the needles, and let's see if at some point the rest of today, it's already 4:30. I haven't been doing this all day as much as I want to. I had to go back and forth quite a bit with the banks, title company, that kind of stuff. And then what else did I have to do? Just house stuff, keeping up with house stuff. There's a few other things I need to confirm. Oh, and then I had to make some payments. Not fun stuff. Okay, so okay, I did put some check marks on here. Oh, so funny. I'm so bad. So sad. My sister will get that. Something my dad did one time. I don't remember what we were talking about. It was the way he said, so sad. But it's a gorgeous color. Look at that. maybe not the best color on me, but sometimes, like I said, I just don't care. I do have it in my Hunter and Hammer. I think the owner and designer of these bags, she passed away earlier this year from a house fire. I cried. Her and her kiddos. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're not going there. But I am so lucky to have one of her bags. I know it seems silly to have like a legacy in a bag, but even though I didn't know her, I did follow her for many years. And this is coming kind of out of nowhere, isn't it? Anyways, I feel very, very fortunate to have one of her bags. And I actually tried to get a couple times, like one of the special ones that she had dyed up or something like that. But again, very lucky to even have this one. And so I'll think about her and her family often using this bag. Woo! So, and for those that got to know her, I'm sure we're very lucky to have gotten to know her personally. Okay, so let's see what I can get done on this sweater. Okay, my Sashiko, I'm getting it out of the bag, so I see if I can get some progress on it and really kind of see this whole thing through. I have this sampler, and this is the ink that I believe, I don't remember if it's water or heat. I'm sure it says it somewhere which one it is. So in the meantime, I'm keeping them away from both, or keeping this away from both, and just doing parts of each. So I did this square, I did all the border first, and then now I'm working my way through this square. I have it in this sheep looking bag. This came from some sort of makeup eraser. This was a skincare thing, a face wash pad thing. And I was like, oh, this is perfect for my crafty things. It is very plasticky, but it came with it, so super cute. I have my threads in here. Hopefully that's not too much crinkling. My extra needles, me and the, gosh, I just said the color earlier, the type of colors, not royal colors, but, these more moody, JD type colors, making up words. And then I have some longer needles here to try. They're clover. And the instructions, I may have mentioned this on a previous episode. My sister-in-law went to Japan for work, and I asked her as a huge favor because of tariffs to bring me back some Sashiko samplers, and she did, and I'm forever grateful. But I don't remember, there's actually an English side. Again, I don't remember. I'll update you at some point to let you know if it's water resistant or water or heat. That takes the lines off, but this is really enjoyable. I don't think I'm doing the technique. I know I'm not doing the technique just right, but I am trying to learn. It's really nice to have something just to hand stitch. And I have no idea what I'm going to turn this into. Who knows? We'll see. All right. It is another day. You can see my art installation is already starting to get backed up. Really sad. But I wanted to show another project. I'm not going to work on this, but I was kind of rearranging, packing some things, and I thought I'd show you. This one is, again, a me-made bag, and you can see it's a Christmas theme. I used red fabric with silvery snowflakes and the reverse with white, and a matching zipper. In here is a Pearl Soho wreath. I've shown it in a previous episode, but that's that. And I have pretty much all the parts, almost all the parts cut out, and I started embroidering on them, and I do have the wreath itself done. And with it's all white, which is kind of up my alley, as you can tell by my decor. But I'm thinking I want to add color to it. So it's put on hold, and I might bring it out closer to the holidays after the move.
finally getting around to editing the video, and I realized I didn't have a closer. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for following along. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you were inspired. Let me know what you're working on, especially with the change of seasons. I feel like people usually get an itch to start something new or maybe wrap some things up before they do. With the change of seasons in both the North and Southern Hemisphere, I know a lot of inspiration comes to everyone. So I'd love to know, what are you working on? I don't know when I'll record next. Who knows? The fact that I got this out when I did is pretty crazy for me. But again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.